Welcome to the Goalbusters Expert Peak Productivity Tips podcast, where top business experts get just 7 minutes to answer 5 rapid-fire questions about what they do and how they stay productive. Each episode is packed with actionable insights to help boost your efficiency and achieve your goals. Let's dive in and unlock the secrets to peak performance.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Robin J. Emden, and I'm an accountability coach and author of Get Resultsology, the science of getting stuff done. I work with people who run their own business, no boss, distractions everywhere, and never enough hours in the day. Together, we cut through the noise, sharpen their focus, and follow through on the big ideas that actually move the needle. That's what I call the momentum formula. Do it today, profit tomorrow, and repeat. So if that sounds like the kind of breakthrough that you've been looking for, then you're in exactly the right place. And speaking of being in exactly the right place, I am delighted to welcome our guest expert today, Jim A. James. At 17, Jim jumped out of a plane and discovered the power of publicity to make money. Braver man than I am. That lesson launched a global career in communications, starting with a PR agency he founded in Singapore in 1995, later expanding into Beijing and India, serving B2B tech clients. And now back in the UK, Jim hosts the Unnoticed Entrepreneur podcast, ranked in the top 2% worldwide, and he's authored 3 widely published books. Jim, welcome to Goalbusters.
Robin, thank you. You do such an amazing piece on the introduction that, you are the goal-busting king. Thank you for inviting me on the show.
You're very kind to say, and obviously the invoice is in the post. So
yeah, that's right. I do accept credit cards, Klarna, all those things.
Yes, absolutely. Speaking of being in the post, I've mentioned that you're in the UK, but whereabouts are you, Jim?
So I'm in a place called Trowbridge, just outside of Bath, the west of England.
Oh, the royal town of Bath, absolutely gorgeous part of the world. It is royal, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, it's a UNESCO heritage site as well. Yeah, it's beautiful. So in between London and Bristol, for anyone listening that's overseas and not so sure of the English geography.
Yes, and I'm incredibly envious. It's a beautiful part of the world. Anyway, I am waffling on. Shall we do the questions instead?
Let's go for it. You give me a pretty tight timeline there, Robin. So I'm hoping I can be productive for you.
Oh, I think you'll be absolutely brilliant at this. All right, so let's get the clock up on the screen. And there it goes. Jim, could you tell me, please, who is your ideal client?
Business owners who are in their 50s, who are getting a little bit tired of running their own companies and need to find a way to escape their own golden cage.
Fantastic. And so that's very precise, but what exactly is the problem, or I imagine problems, plural, that you solve?
Well, most founders are so tied to the company, Robin. They started it, they built it. They're often the clients really associate the service of the company being from that individual. And even if it's a product business, they see the entrepreneur as being mission critical. So when it comes to exiting, which they need to do through selling to an investor or to the existing staff, they've got to find a way to give the business a brand that survives without them. But importantly, the founder has to build their own brand, their own personal exit strategy. So I call that a dual brand strategy, and really helping those owners to start to identify themselves as something and someone outside of the company. So we have this sort of separation, really a bit like a rocket ship. You know, when the rocket ship goes up, it needs the astronaut, but at some stage, the astronaut can come back down to Earth, but the satellite stays in orbit. So we need to help the astronaut, the entrepreneur, to jettison from the business and leave it still flying.
Okay, so the comment that I often apply here doesn't apply. I often say it's not like it's rocket science, is it? But sounds like it is.
Yeah, absolutely is rocket science.
All right, so let's move on. I'm being silly. What is one valuable free action that the audience can implement that will help them to solve these problems?
If you are a business owner, register your own personal domain name. It's amazing how few people own their own domain name. They rely on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram. The only real estate that you can own that's digital is your own name. Go to GoDaddy or Namecheap or Ineos, any of these providers. Often for £3-4 only, you can buy your own domain name, whether it's a .com or another domain extension. You can buy .family, you can buy .name, you can buy .agency. So the free piece of advice, well, my advice is free, but the cost of the domain might be £3 or £4, is to buy your own domain name.
Yes, absolutely. You must making me think now. I wonder if I paid for my renewal this year. I'm going to go off and check after this call. So now that we have a better understanding of what you do, let's dive briefly into goal busting, which is focusing on maximizing your productive time to achieve your business goals. Jim, I imagine you're a very productive man, but could you share any tips or advice for someone else looking to improve their own productivity habits?
First thing I would say, Robin, is to do exercise first in the day. I'm finding it's a great way to clear the mind, to do either a walk, a run, hit the gym, do something that kind of cleanses the night before. That's the first thing. Second is to take the task that you like least and do it first. So a bit like if you've got kids, you do ask them to have the vegetables before they get the dessert. Same applies really, that we need to actually do the things that we might have resistance to first, because actually you've got the most energy and dynamism normally first thing in the morning. So that's when I use that. The third, very simply, is to have a timer. I have a clock here. I have a little bank of clocks on another deck, which has got a 5-minute timer, a 10-minute timer, a 20-minute and a half an hour. So I choose the time according to the task. And it's amazing how often people have got a task without a time attached to it. So I say that's a 5-minute task. That's a 10-minute task. So do something before you start work to relieve the stress. Do the task that you would like to do least, eat your greens first, and then set a time allocation for that task.
Yeah, brilliant. Oh, 3 for the price of 1. That talk about value for money. Thank you so much, Jim. And on all excellent pieces of advice too. I completely agree with you. Thank you very much. So finally, what should I have asked you today, Jim, that I didn't? And also, what would your answer be?
I'm going to suggest you ask me my favorite AI tool for productivity, Robin.
Okay.
And then the way you couch the question, you want me to answer it as well.
Please. Yeah.
Right. Would that count as a rhetorical question? No, it wouldn't, would it? I have just discovered one called Manus, MANUS.im. And Manus is an agentic platform, agentic AI. So it's different to ChatGPT. It's like the next level up. And Manus is enabling me to give it a full task. For example, I can upload a spreadsheet and some charts and some pictures and give it a prompt. And Manus creates a full PowerPoint presentation for me, including charts and illustrations in line with my corporate identity. And I can give a link to that if anyone's interested to get 500 free credit. So the question you should have asked is, what AI am I using? And my answer is manus.im.
Brilliant. Thank you. And of course, the key distinction that you're indirectly making there, or almost directly, is that an independent entrepreneur, the kind of people that you're talking about, and I'm one of those people, you can be like 1,000 times more productive with intelligent use of AI. I'm not saying rely on it. I'd be completely against that. But in terms of the things that you can do that you've been putting off because they're so laborious, AI just nails these things in minutes sometimes.
Absolutely. And I'm not saying anything wrong because I'm watching the clock countdown. So I'm
Don't
sitting
you
here
worry
quietly.
about that.
Even I'd love to say something. I know that I mustn't because I've got like 30 seconds left.
Oh dear. Oh, hoisted by my own clock.
Luckily, I don't have a petard here, but there we go.
No, indeed. Yes. Yeah. Thank goodness. And I'm not even sure what a petard is. It's a yachting term, isn't it? I think.
It's a large spike, isn't it? I think.
Yes. All right. Jim A. James, that's been fantastic. Thank you so much. We have done it in the 7 minutes, even though I couldn't draw you out a little bit more there, but I think we got the point across. Thank you so much for that. Jim, could you tell me, please, I do have another question for you, and it's actually a three-parter. Part A, or part one, is how can people reach you if they want to find out more about what you do? Part B is there like a valuable free resource they can get from you, which is, I think, always an excellent way of finding out more about your offer before they take that often quite nerve-wracking step of actually making contact. Part C is you do have a most amazing podcast, and for people watching us on video, you've got all the swag, you've got the branding, you've got the posters, and you are in the top 2% worldwide. And I would love it if you could spend a few moments telling us more about your podcast as well, because I think it would be tremendously helpful.
Okay, Robin. Well, thank you. 3 questions at once. Crikey, now I feel like I'm taking that Donald Trump, acuity test. Luckily, you haven't asked me to identify, animals and things like that. jimajames.com/gift. And on there, you will find a free download, which is a 10-point pre-interview guide for anyone that's going onto a podcast. There's also a free marketing audit that you can apply for that's delivered by a business partner of mine called Draft Advertising out of the USA. So actually 2 gifts in one place. The podcast is at theunnoticedentrepreneur.com. I have 900 episodes, and I've interviewed people from around the world. I have hats and mugs and all manner of things as well. And you can find those at theunnoticeddentrepreneur.com. I have articles as well, and the episodes. And also, if anyone wants to come on my show, they can apply there. And they can also apply to contribute, Robin, to the online magazine. So I actually have now contributors who would like to write, maybe before they've done a podcast, they want to write an article. So really starting to help people to contribute so they can get noticed for what they do without even necessarily having to come on a podcast.
Fantastic. That's over 900. I don't think I picked up on that straight away. That's amazing. Gosh, that's a real library of information there.
It's quite a catalog, and I've been very fortunate to have so many amazing entrepreneurs come on this show. And that's why I then decided to write the first book and then the second one and actually the third one. And they were picked up by Wiley, the American publishers, and they republished them. So been very blessed because, I'm only really the channel for all the wisdom of all these amazing entrepreneurs from around the world, Robin.
Yes, fantastic. And the literal channel too. I do urge people to go and find the podcast channel where they can find the Unnoticed Entrepreneur podcast by Jim A. James. Thank you, Jim. It's been an absolute pleasure and delight to virtually meet you today and to hear all about your business, or a little bit about your business. We can't possibly do it justice in the time that we had, but thank you so much for appearing on Goalbusters today.
Robin, thank you so much for having me. And I apologize, we did slip over your 7 minutes, but I did my best to keep stum in between the breaks.
Yes, well, you don't need to apologize. It's me. I'm always the one that's at fault there. I always waffle over the time. Oh, is that the time? Yes, okay. I guess I better end it there. Jim J. James, thank you so much. And once again, thank you for appearing on Goalbusters. And remember, everybody, keep goal busting and make your future self proud. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Goalbusters. If you're enjoying it, please subscribe, rate and review it on your favourite podcast platform. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you're ready to boost your online profits, skyrocket your productivity, crush procrastination and see a positive change in your bank balance, all within just 30 days, this is your opportunity. Take my free 5-day challenge at www.skyrocketyourproductivitychallenge.com.